looked at them in more detail. The
100,000. I get 200 down. They're going to 100.
Welcome to American Dream Garage. Today I'm going to start a short video series on some light restoration work on my 1995 Range Rover Classic. The Range Rover came out, I believe, in 1970, and the original version ran until my model, 1995. It was a one-year only model called the Soft Dash. And the reason is because they installed airbags. Then the next year they went to a newer model refresh. My car has had work done to it in the past. Cosmetically, it looks pretty good. The interior seats ultimately need to be reupholstered. But the one thing I've known has been wrong with the car is underneath there was rust. When I first got the car, although it was told to me that it was not rusty, it was. And the rear cross member literally fell apart when I touched it. It needed a new tailgate, a new floor in the back. And so all those things were done to the car to get it to be roadworthy. Since then, and that's been over 10 years, I've put 27,000 miles of regular driving and winter driving on the car, knowing that at some point in time I got to come back and do some serious work underneath. So we will show you that, and then I think in the first series give you the first work update, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so got it up on my 10,000 pound lift, which this is a beast of a vehicle. I think it weighs 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. So something of this magnitude, I've got jack stands front and rear. But the first thing you'll notice is a lot of the suspension components are fairly severely corroded, not to the point where it provides any type of structural damage. So they can be sanded and repaired. But I mean, obviously it's not the best. Then this here, just piece fell off, is the rear gas tank cradle, which I have on order. The tank itself is I think probably nylon, so that'll be fine. So let's start with the rear suspension. So I did not know some of these things until I got it up. The reason I got it up is I had a brake line rust through. So it is out of commission right now for the near term until I can get that done. So first thing I notice is these rear trailing arm ball joints. The one is completely severed. You can see that get some more light here, that the bushing from inside is melted on the outside, so that's not good. The sway bar, while useless because it's not connected, the bushings are old and tired. This one you can see is also melted. So these all will be replaced. I have those on order. Then you have this radial arm, which I can't really see the bushing inside, but I'm guessing it's shot also, as well as the front bushing, rock hard. So all of those parts, these radial arms, bolt kits, bushing kits are readily available. So I'm going to go ahead and replace these arms, although I could probably sandblast them, but they're only like $50 a piece, so I'll replace them. And then these, and the name of this escapes me, but I'll look it up and add it to the video. I searched for these online and I can find this side, but I can't find this side. And they're a little bit more expensive, so I don't think the damage on these is much. It's just surface corrosion. So I ordered a bolt kit, a bushing kit, and so we will take those off. And I believe with that I have one more jack stand also. I may reinforce, put 2 underneath the axle, and I think I can remove these parts while it's up. And do them, and then replace them back on the car. I've got the lift mounted on the frame for that radial arm, which is pretty solid. So I think we should be good. So that's what the first part will be. Obviously, I will try to grind this down a little bit, get all the excess paint off of it, and then probably use a Pour 15 paint. I'll do a rust suppressant on it. I'll grind as much off as I can. I'll treat it, and then I'll put a Pour 15 kind of rust encapsulating paint on it. And then some of these other parts, you can see the similar thing. But again, I think I can repair that. And that's probably it for the back. Then okay, welcome to American Dream Garage. I purposely didn't clean up so people wouldn't get a misperception of how easy it is to remove components from a rusted vehicle. So you can see there's some of the remains down here and some of the remains on my face, but I have pretty much taken everything off of the right side and prepped it. So the sway bar is off, the radial arm, which is probably the most difficult part to get out of that bracket, is off. Bump stops are off, the springs are off, the shocks are off, the shock mounts are off. And then I've basically chiseled off most of the excess rust, hit it with a wire brush a little bit, not too much, and then I've treated it. So I'll let that dry. Then I will use a rust encapsulating paint on it. I might knock a little bit more of the rust off, but I think pretty much this treatment will neutralize it, because I've got it down all the way to the surface of the metal, so there's no loose material. And a lot of this frame is not really that bad. So anyway, that's the end of part 1, which would be the disassembly. The parts have not arrived yet, so I'll probably go over here and show the parts. That obviously the spring, the shock, sway bar, which I will sandblast, the radial arm, which I've decided to use, and so I'll sandblast and paint. The sway bar brackets, because they were fairly expensive. I ordered new the spring cup, and then the dust covers and the caliper, which I've already sandblasted. So I'll get all that stuff prepped and let this settle out and see how it looks, to see if I want to do any more treatment of it. Again, I will use Pour 15 rust encapsulating paint on it, which is pretty tough stuff. So anyway, that's where we are with the Range Rover rear suspension restoration project.